when you guys, just kind of diving into that model a little bit, were you guys helping oil and gas companies? Were those the actual clients? And then, you'd come in and say, oh, you can use Quorum for this, or, P2 or whatever software company may be. Was that kind of a general idea of how that worked?
Yeah, exactly right. And, one of our original taglines that we dropped at some point was choose, configure, capitalize. And so the idea is we'll help you pick software selection, we'll help you configure, implement it. But it may be that you have great software, and in a lot of cases, we were helping people better utilize the Quorum software. So maybe they had stuff off system because they didn't know functionality that could be used, or we'd work with Quorum and say, hey, if you could do this enhancement, this would make a big difference to the client because they're doing this manually intensive every month, and they don't have a way to do it. So it was a lot of it, especially at the beginning, was helping people just better utilize the technology that they already had.
Yeah. So for those that are listening, that I think the number one question that a lot of people might have is, why doesn't Quorum do a lot of the implementations themselves?
Well, and they do, and they did they did at that point, and they continue to do a lot of their implementations. Each of the software, it's interesting when you look at software companies. There's some software companies that are at one extreme where they do no implementation. They're just development, and selling the software, and they use partners to do the integration work. Quorum at that time was very much into doing the services as well. So, in some ways, I guess we were competing against them, although we worked alongside them on a lot of different projects. Mm-hmm. Over time, I feel like they've moved more to the software model where they do their own implementations, but they have a big partner network and do a lot more of working with partners than they did back in 2005. So, yeah. But a lot of what we were helping with too was, and again, I didn't feel at the time it was really that competitive Quorum because we were helping with business expertise, right? So I really felt like we were working for the client. We were part of the client team because you think about companies don't staff for projects. They don't staff to just have people sitting around and now you do a software implementation and all these people are free, right? Mm-hmm. They've got to do their regular job. Accountants got to close the books and do all those kind of things. So we really tried to always kind of embed ourselves as part of the client team. And help them with some of the things that they needed to be doing in order to make the project successful, and less so taking away from the things that the vendors had to do.